just this week, Lake City, Florida, paid $460,000 in Bitcoin to unfreeze its systems, and the demands can go even higher than that. Riviera Beach, another town in Florida, last week agreed to pay $600,000 to end an attack holding it digitally hostage. Kate Fazzini is CNBC.com's technology reporter, and I mean, these are not towns you've ever even heard of.
These are small towns. A lot of people have heard about the bigger incidents in Baltimore, Atlanta, exactly. And they also heard that those towns paid, or those big cities paid, millions and millions of dollars to clean up the mess, and it was because they opted not to pay the ransom.
So they did not pay the ransom.
Yes.
They still had to pay for this long cleanup.
Yeah.
Why do you think these small towns did pay it?
Because I think that they now see how much it can cost. They do a cost-benefit analysis. I know for sure in Riviera Beach's case, they actually had insurance that would cover that ransomware payment.
Wow.
So, I mean, as far as taxpayers go, I think taxpayers might be angrier to know that they paid millions and refused to pay. But it raises a lot of thorny questions, I think.
Can't they call 911? I mean, if you're under attack, you call 911. I'm not saying you do that if you're under cyber attack, but shouldn't they be able to appeal to authorities for some help here beyond just the city itself trying to figure this out?
It's very difficult. There's not a real infrastructure in place right now where we have a federal agency that can come in and help or respond. Obviously, the FBI can come in and investigate, but as far as getting your networks unfrozen and dealing with the cleanup of the equipment afterwards, if you decide not to pay the ransom, you have to scrap a lot of that equipment. So there's nothing the FBI can do about that.
And so do you expect now all of these other towns and cities this is going to become a regular cost of doing business?
I think that's what's already happening, actually. After Riviera Beach paid $600,000, we very quickly saw this other Florida city have to pay.
Wow.
I think that the criminals behind this can very quickly see that this is a really lucrative way to do things, and towns are now willing to pay because they've set a precedent.
Such a bad sign. Also troubling is this news about these insulin pumps that may be hacked. Can you tell us what's going on with that?
So Medtronic and the FDA did a recall of some insulin pumps over a risk of cyber attack that could, if somebody didn't have access, if somebody got access to your insulin pump, they could change the amount of medication being delivered to you. Now, it's important to say that no actual attack against these pumps has been recorded.
And sometimes you wonder if the news makes people realize, oh, hey, I didn't know I could do that, but now I'll give it a try.
Yeah, it's that's always a risk too. However, I don't think that in those cases there's not a real financial gain. Of course, there's a danger to people who might already be in danger from someone. But as far as it being a widespread thing, I think it's just good to upgrade.